closure was announced. And I'm speaking with the background that I've had the opportunity to govern that beautiful state, Ogun State, for 8 years. And I know that all our people within the border towns, we've been having this issue for long, since the one that I've been there as governor, even before being governor there. I agree that yes, there is need to sanitize our borders. Indeed, there was a time that I learned, I didn't know, that we have the most porous, the number of borders that we have within Ogun State in the country. At that time, they took them to about, I think, 200 and something illegal routes. So clearly, there's need for us to sanitize this, our border with all our neighbors. But in doing this, Mr. President, I think we should think this through. I support in its entirety the closure of the border, maybe for a time, maybe 1 month or so, for them to now be ingenious and think about how we can have a lasting solution to what is happening. But if we decide to just close it indefinitely, then it will affect our people, not just people in Ogun State, everybody. Because there are some genuine people that are doing genuine business. And under the movement of free movement of goods and services, we cannot be seen that we just close our border indefinitely and believe that we'll get this result. Ultimately, it may not give us the much desired result. Yes, I'm aware, I agree, that within that short time of closure, our daily consumption has dropped, which, of course, everybody knows that we do not consume the number of liters that we banded every day that this is our consumption. That has reduced by about 11 million or so. A lot of other things has followed. This illegal smuggling of rice, of other products, it has reduced. Indeed, in the area of security, particularly up north and down south, it has reduced. This proliferation of all of these arms, not even just small arms, it has reduced. But that will not mean that great number of Nigerians that are those that are not of means, majority of them, they are affected by this closure. Some of them, those even industrialists that have all their goods into the West African sub-region, they've conquered the place. They cannot move their goods now. Even some of them, they render some services, they cannot move. I remember that some are people that are in the universities in Ghana, and some they used to go by road. They complain that they cannot move. So since the border closure, I know what our people will be doing. When I say our people, all of those people that still does business. Of course, no sane person will support smuggling. No, I'm not. Indeed, I was supporting custom and other agencies to ensure that we reduce to the bare minimum the issue of smuggling. But as we are doing that, we must know who we are, and we must know where we are. As we speak today, there are all these small peasant farmers, everything that they do. They cannot even take it to anywhere because of what has happened. So I believe that we should use this closure that we did to think it through and see how we can have a very long-lasting solution to all these smuggling activities that is happening. Because day in, day out, and people are there, they don't have anything doing again. We are not supporting smuggling, they know, and that's why we encourage them that if we look inward, we can do better. Indeed, we can. All the West African sub-region, they don't have anything. It is us that should be supplying them rather than now relying on all those smuggling items. So, once again, in supporting this, with this qualification that I've mentioned, I believe that custom and other related agencies, particularly even our security agencies, they should all come together and fashion a long-lasting solution to ensure that, yes, at times like this, we may close our border just to allow us to think solutions through that will be long-lasting. Thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Gabriel.